Johnny Walker versus Zhang Mingyang. Who's going to win this fight? Well, first of all, who's going to win this fight? Let's take a look at their latest performances in which Zhang fought Ozzy Diaz, in which Zhang dropped and put a lot of punishment on Ozzy Diaz and arrested enough and stopped the fight in round one.
Quite lovely to see. Drops him early. He's covering up.
And after this, Zhang Mingyang went on to fight Anthony Smith, in which Zhang started off very fast, put a lot of punishment on Anthony Smith and arrested enough and stopped the fight in round one.
There's a back of the head. It's got to be good. That will do it.
Now let's take a look at Johnny Walker's latest performances, in which he fought Magomed Ankalaev for a second time, in which both started off great in round one until Magomed Ankalaev knocked out Johnny Walker in round two.
Walking to a head kick because he's constantly going. Oh! Wow! That's it!
And after this, Johnny Walker went on to fight Volkan Oezdemir, in which Volkan Oezdemir dropped and knocked out Johnny Walker in round one.
Left hand from Oezdemir, who is not leaping left, a whole bunch of shots.
Well,
that's it. He's done.
Now this fight can either bring Johnny Walker back into the game, or he can set him back even more, and he would definitely be known as one of the best knockout artists in the UFC. Not knockout artists, but anyways, if we take a look at both men and how this fight can play out, well, this fight automatically favors Zhang Mingyang. I mean, he's younger, being 27 years old, and as of right now, he looks to be the much more dangerous fighter. I mean, he's on a 12-fight winning streak, and all of those wins were by finishes, and actually all of his wins are by finishes, so it's definitely not looking too good for Johnny Walker. So the way I see this fight playing now is that Zhang Mingyang will be the one on the front foot controlling the pace of the fight, and if he somehow doesn't manage to close the gap and get things going to where he can start overwhelming Johnny Walker with his pressure and power, well, I believe he could just end up outstriking and outperforming Johnny Walker, which will lead to him taking the win by decision. But here's the thing, with Johnny Walker having a glass jaw and not looking too confident in himself, there's no way that Zhang Mingyang doesn't get the finish. So in conclusion, I do got Johnny Walker getting knocked out by Zhang Mingyang. But I will say that it isn't 100% over for Johnny Walker. So I will say that if he wants to win this fight, his best chance and probably his only chance is to find a lucky shot and knock out Zhang Mingyang, because he's definitely not going to be able to outstrike or outwork Zhang Mingyang. But honestly, there's a very slim chance that we see Johnny Walker get a crazy knockout out of nowhere, simply because his recent performances haven't shown us that he's still the old fighter he used to be, to where he can get a crazy finish.